Hello. Hi, good morning. Hi. It can take a little bit for the video to show up in the feed on Facebook. So I'll just do me a second. So if you're watching on the replay, hi. If you want to skip forward, drop all my cards a minute or two, no offense taken. Because it just takes a while. I tag people for the video now because I always avoided it. I've been running this group nearly 10 years now, and that card just jumped out, so I'll just take that. But I've been running this group nearly 10 years now, and I really was like so mindful of demand avoidance and being really icky and annoying and tagging people in posts, and so I didn't do it. But actually the way that Facebook runs and the algorithms out, it's actually almost impossible to get your stuff that you put out there to be seen unless you kind of do that stuff. And I don't have that much time to put that much content out, and when I do, it's because you're in my group because you want to receive it, so I do tag. So I'm sorry if that's jarring for you, but it's just the only way to find people. I can see someone watching. Hi. So the algorithm's catching up and people are coming in. Just so you know, if you're watching, I know that there's people watching, and I love that. If you want me to know that you're watching and who you are, you need to put something in the comments, because otherwise I just see one person watching and I can't say hi to you. But hi anyway. I'm going to burn some incense. I'm just feeling like that would be good for us today. So I have got this really lovely incense sat by me in my healing room because Eliza gave me this, and it's got this gorgeous pink packet, this real heart chakra energy. It comes from Glastonbury, and it's the Mother's India Fragrances incense, and I'm really feeling it at the moment. And ironically, she does not love it, so she'll probably complain that I'm burning it. But she gave it to me, and I'm going to take the risk because she's up in her bedroom. And I'm going to burn this, and I'll just waft that to you. There you go. I feel like I'm doing like a... Do you ever watch the YouTube ASMR videos? For those of you who are in my world who like healing work and relaxation work, you sometimes get like Reiki videos or healing videos or ASMR, and they kind of like, they like send it through the camera very meaningfully. There you go. I'll do that for you. It's not really my jive. I'm just kidding with you. But if it was me, that's what I do. Okay, so hi everybody. I can see who it is. Hello, my lovely. Hi, it's really nice to be with you live. I know the morning isn't always the best time for people, but it's the time I've got. So here I am, and you'll catch me when you catch me. This is your coffee break video. I'm Lindsay at Peace with PDA. I'm mum to Eliza, who somehow is 14 these days, heading towards 15, and I don't know where the time goes. I was just saying I opened this group nearly 10 years ago, and I just like, where does it go? So it is lovely seeing all our familiar community members coming in. Some of you join us in the weekend chat every week, so I love catching up with you all there and being with you. And it's also lovely that we're welcoming new members in all the time. So hi, if you're new, it's so nice to be with you. Just to ground you into this video, this is my chance to connect with you, send you some love, make sure that you know how important you are and that you're seen and appreciated. This is just a little space for you. I don't even drink coffee these days. I've given up coffee since I started doing coffee break videos. But I have like a herbal, like dandelion root coffee. But you can bring your tea, or you can just bring you. But this is just like a little bit of time for you to send you love. I've got my cards that I like to pull us one off. You might have seen, if you've been in the group, I do Friday cards, and I tend towards using these cards. And they're all about personal empowerment. And I was just showing you the deck. That's not actually the card. I was fiddling around shuffling them as I was coming on the call, and this one jumped out. So we're going to have this one. And it's a totally non-demandy, become better. There you go. So the card says, and just open your heart to receive whatever is right for you in this. Never, ever, ever take anything I say or offer, or any flipping one else takes, if it doesn't feel right and aligned in this moment for you. So there might just be one little thing in this, and it might not even be the main message. Just notice, maybe there's something in the picture. I don't know. Just take what is for you and leave the rest without any worries or attachment. Okay. The card says, discover one thing that would make you better and more empowered at what you do and who you are. Oh, this is very meaningful for me today. And make it a part of your routine. If this is difficult, identify why becoming better is something you wouldn't want to do. Your goal is to recognise how and why you sabotage your empowerment. Oh, I might speak in a little bit about what that means to me in a minute. So, what do? I trained as an integrative counsellor. That was kind of my training at Southampton Uni and how I started out professionally. And I have done various things while I've been, doing life. I've done a lot of stuff where I've supported parents through integrating that relationship with school and professionals and stuff like that, and supporting the school at working with the parents, things like that. So I offer safe spaces. I offer what I call parent support sessions. My current situation, I'm radically unschooling a girl, and that is my to-do. And I am not professionally keeping up with any training or accreditation or anything, so I am not putting myself out there as a counsellor, but I'm just saying that is my training background and experience. But these days I offer what I call parent support sessions, which means that online I work with parents like you who maybe just need somewhere to sort their stuff out, to get clear in their head. I'm also an energy healer and therapist. Sometimes people come because they've got healing work to do. I had a lot of healing work to do. I'm still continuing to do a lot of healing work through especially my earlier years of parenting and stuff that showed up in my body, that showed up for me emotionally, in my relationships, in my work, in my finances, in my home, all of it. So I definitely do that. You see in the group I do Reiki for those people who are interested in any energy healing in that way. My real go-to tool is EFT tapping, which you might have seen me do, where we work with what's causing us friction and tension and distress and confusion at the moment, and we soothe and calm our nervous system and our amygdala that goes into that fight, flight, freeze, fawn response when we're in that place, so that we can come better into our wholeness and our skills and our empowerment and move forward from that place. So it's an incredible tool. What I really do, I guess, is I'm very intuitive, and I love to walk with people who are open, who are ready to do that work of deconditioning and taking apart what's no longer working for me in this life. And I've got to take my cardigan off. And if PDA parenting isn't opening that up in your life, I don't know what is. Because I thought I'd done a lot of that, and then along comes my gorgeous gal, and a whole new load of stuff came through. So, I really love to walk with people. And for me, it's all about how can you really know yourself? How can you really come back into your wholeness, your strength, your power as you walk through this life? And then how does that dynamic support your family? Because we all have this inner guidance system, and how do we be in that energy and then dance with each other? And I like to be that intuitive detective to help people to see, where am I feeling blocked? Where am I feeling stuck? Where am I holding on to something that doesn't serve me anymore? So that's the work I love to do. So if you want to come and work with me one-to-one, just reach out. And because at the moment I haven't got any overheads, I'm working from home on camera, I'm able to offer my very best kind of prices to you. So hopefully making that more accessible for everybody. So a win-win all round. And I totally get how life is. So I'm as flexible as possible, as well as needing to be flexible on my end. And sometimes I can do sessions when my daughter's in her classes, and sometimes I'm at home in my healing room like you see now. So, just let me know what you need and we can talk. But today I'm feeling lots of things. Today I feel like so much is flowing through me. We are sitting in the weekend where it is a big super new moon, and I am feeling that moon medicine, and I'm just feeling so much come through with me that I feel like I want to lean into this group with, because I think it's for all of us. And the card speaks into it as well about this become better. And it's recognizing how you sabotage your empowerment. And what I'm really noticing in the moon medicine that's coming through at the moment is the incredible power and wisdom and knowledge and skill that I hold in that feminine energy that we as society, we as the world have been so dismissive of, you know, and working with very much my own internalized, ways that I talk to myself and feel about myself and all that stuff that I hold at the moment, but recognizing it's really out there as well. And that energy that comes as whether you're mum or primary carer, you know, that feminine energy of caring for, looking after, tending to another, and how unappreciated, unseen, undervalued it is. And it really came through for me today in this just like everyday little, this wasn't a big thing in my house, but it was just this subtlety that felt accessible to talk to you about without being dismissive or disrespectful to anyone in my household. So this coming week, we're going on a little holiday, our traditional little break to Butlins that we have. If you're in the UK, you might know good old Butlins, real classic holiday, British style, seaside fairground shows, you know. And we've done that since Eliza was little, so it's very familiar, it's very safe, it's very known, which is a beautiful way for us to do holidays. We like to do short midweek breaks where everything's quiet, and we've built it up over the years that the places we go to are all familiar. And we're doing that this week, and we've always done it in May because it lands on both mine and my husband's birthdays. We're both Gemini, our birthdays are a day after each other, so we have these 2 birthdays for us Gemini twins, and it's always been a way of making it approachable for our daughter that we can celebrate, as in make some nice time for our birthdays and go and have this nice time without the focus being on our birthdays. It's holiday, you know, so that's worked really well for us. Side story. And so we're doing that this week. And Andy took her shopping yesterday to pick up, she would like to pick out some presents for me, which is something, you know, which has never been a demand, but something that she now likes to do. So they went and chose some presents, and I think she really appreciates her skills of understanding people and what they like and choosing carefully for them. You know, she's very gifted at that. And then there was a lot of anxiety last night that I wasn't really sure what was about, a bit tired today. And this morning, turns out a few things going on, and one of them being that conversation with Dad around the presents was he suggested that they leave the presents at home because we're actually travelling home on my birthday. And, you know, the inconvenience of taking extra stuff, I totally get that. But she needs to give them to me in the morning because that's what we usually do. And because it's my birthday and she wants it to be celebrated, and it's already a travel day, and that feels important to her to, you know, give that to me. And because she knows, and how much beautiful self-awareness is this, that when she comes home from holiday, she will be too tired to give to me to do birthday stuff. So I'm just like, oh, so profoundly beautiful in all of that awareness. And she'd said to Andy, no, we need to take the stuff with us. And her perception, I don't know what he actually said, but her perception of it was that he was kind of like, well, you need to deal with that, you need to put it in your suitcase, then kind of washing his hands of it, you know, that her perception of it was that. And I was sitting this morning with my birthday, my presents. Why has this become my stress, my to-do, my thing to organise, you know, this familiar stuff. And what landed for me, as well as completely when I step out of it, recognising there's all kinds of different things that might have been said versus how it might have been heard and received, and all of that, you know, acknowledging that completely. But just taking it at face value, the feelings coming up in me, because that's my gift to walk with, was the acknowledgement of the space I hold in this family. And speaking into that, as it happens, I hold that kind of more traditional gender role in the family at the moment. I guess the way our dynamic is, because I'm the one that's at home doing the childcare, you know, that might not be your setup, but speaking into that sort of caregiver energy, recognising that I hold this space of, I was sitting there waiting this morning, making myself available for these conversations, allowing myself to be emptied out, to be calm, to be that vessel, to be approachable, to be able to hear, to be able to hold space. Not just the practical sorting out, but that too, actually having those solutions, being able to see how to pull things together. These are, you know, and a million other things. Knowing the timing for different people, you know, and making myself available to that. And all of that is me giving, is me in my strength, is me in my skill, is me in my empowerment. And all of that is invisible, including to me so much of the time. And that was the moon medicine that's really coming through for me at the moment. I really wanted to share in for you, because just to allow you to take whatever touches for you in that. What is an invitation for you in that? Where do you not see yourself? Where do you not see your strength? And I think this can be really exaggerated for us, this particular thing, because other people don't see it and value it either. It's not valued, you know, financially in society, in status in society, the wise woman medicine that we hold, you know, the caregiver love and skill that we hold. You know, this stuff isn't seen and valued. But also, you know, are we holding it for ourselves? So where are you not seeing yourself? And it really landed for me, because some stuff we've been walking through, not to speak to particulars, but in my group, the Freedom Centre, the amazing women in that, you know, it often comes up, of course, around stuff to do with partners or ex-partners, co-parents, you know, and that tension of relationship with our children, and that frustration and that irritation and that anger that can come up in us, which is often the kind of script is like, I'll speak into mine, or like, why am I the only one who sees this? Why am I the only one who can sort this out? Why am I the only one who gets it? Why does everyone seem to make this worse and make it hard for me? And, you know, all that stuff. And actually recognizing that there's a space to hear all that. And where am I actually not seeing myself? You know, where is the universe, life, my higher self inviting me in that frustration, in that irritation, in that anger of other, to really come in and say, oh, I need to up level in my appreciation of myself here. You know, that's the gift in this opportunity. How can I see myself more fully in what I'm doing, what I'm holding, who I am, in that self-love, in that self-appreciation right now? And that was just really landing, and I wanted to invite it into this space today. So I hope it brings you a gift. Right, what have we done? We've done the cards, we've done Lindsay, I call it my soundboarding, stuff coming through and me just voicing it out and throwing it at you. I do that with my friends and my co-listening, you know, people in my life, and just like working stuff through. And today I'm really bringing that in with you as well. I've shared with you about if you want to reach out for one-to-one opportunities. I know there's something else I wanted to share with you. I know there was. Oh, what was it? My nose is twitching, like, you know the show Bewitched? Are you old enough like me to know that? Like that witchy sense. Talking of that witchy sense, do you know the system of human design? If you don't know human design, we have an expert in our group on parenting by human design, which is Steph. I'll tag in the comments in case you want to pick that up. It's an incredible system, human design, which I know and walk and love really well, but I'm not professionally trained in it like Steph, and she really holds that space for like helping you navigate it with the relationships with your children and their charts. And it really gives you this like blueprint of your energetic makeup. It's kind of like how your form is designed to move in this world, on a body level and on a consciousness level. And there's so much profound stuff in it. And doing the nose thing made me think that my husband's got what's known as smell sense, and that means it's his primary sense. And I see all the ways that that works out in the world. Like he can smell a rat, you know, it's not just like a physical smell. He will pick things up and smell them, but he can sniff out if something's a bit iffy, you know. Mine is touch. And I noticed when I was doing the video today as well, you know, I was like, does this just touch you a little bit? You know, I just always like, and I've been doing a lot of stuff recently, really walking with, integrating that more consciously into my life, doing more things with my hands. Does that sound dodgy? I don't know. But like, making like bracelets, doing crosswords, things where I'm just like enjoying that, you know, integrating with my touch sense. And it came to me that, of course, I've always just vibed so much with the tapping that I do. Like, and now that I know I've got that touch sense in my human design, I'm like, oh, well, you know, of course, yeah, I love doing this tapping. And as soon as it got introduced to me, you know, when you know something's just your thing, you just like, oh, I get this. This is for me. And it was always that for me. And maybe that's what I wanted to say to you. I don't know. But I just love EFT tapping. And what I really love about the EFT tapping is the message that it brings us. This is what I'm going to wrap up with, which is that everything which is causing us angst, tension, friction, bother, irritation, anger, frustration. I've probably said frustration a lot because that's my thing. But all of those things that we think of as being the things we don't want, the things we need to work through, the things we need to let go of, the things we don't like, the things that are negative, you know, they're just our labels, aren't they? Because everything's neutral, really. But those things, you know, all of that is simply a disruption in the body's energy flow. Like for us, you know, Western grown people, that's like a bit like, oh, that's a bit out there, Lindsay, you know? And I totally get that because I'm like quite grounded and skeptical, I suppose, about these things in my own world. But when you start to experience it, that actually this thing that feels like it's an absolute part of me, you know, that I hold it just feels so true and so real and so solid, but it is uncomfortable or it gives me bother or I don't like it. And then you find yourself through this technique coming back into your empowerment and into your wholeness and walking with I keep using this word a lot today, it's really with me, but the medicine of it, the messages of it. And finally you integrate that through that process. And that thing that's been there because it's wanted you to bring something into your being and into your knowing and finally integrates, and then it just, because it's just not needed anymore. You know, it makes you look at life differently. And I've definitely had that happen with some really real stuff, you know, dense energy stuff, tangible stuff that shows up in the body, stuff that shows up in my physical reality that you can witness, that you can see, which is easier to ground into than the kind of the subtle energies of even emotions, you know, or thoughts and beliefs, you know, it's all energy. But the physical stuff is easier for us to see, isn't it? You know, and I've walked with allergies and asthma going from being chronic to not part of my life experience, you know, as one example. And that makes you stop and think. I've walked with being caught in addictions to not even relating to that being part of my world, you know, and like, that makes you realise that this thing that's here now, and I have those myself, things that I'm walking with now that feel like they are part of me, they are part of my life, they are part of my world, they are part of who I am, they are part of my relationships, they are, you know, this is me, I am, you know, we really attach and identify to it, but they're just transient. They, you know, it's here now. So how can I be with it? How can I walk with it? How can I gather what I need from it? But, you know, I don't need to make it be me. You know, it's just something I'm journeying through. It's like I'm going travelling. I'm going to Butlins. I'm just going to go and have this Butlins experience, you know. Whatever this thing is that I'm walking through, I'm going to make it like my Butlins experience, even if it feels really hard and heavy, like a health thing. Or, you know, we're walking through something in our family at the moment because we moved into a home with my in-laws and decided to live a multi-generational life. And now I'm really living this multi-generational life because a couple of years ago we lost my father-in-law, and now just very recently my mother-in-law's been diagnosed with secondary breast cancer, and we're walking through as a family, you know, a new beginning to an end, really. And that is complex. Life, you know, it isn't about finding how do we get to the top of this thing that we've been trying to climb and suddenly feel comfortable. You know, it's life will keep lifing. You know, there's always going to be the balance of the light and the dark and the ease and the challenge. And how do I feel okay in that? It's a sense of freedom that comes from inside, because I found that solid place within me, that inner connection, that inner guidance within me that takes me through whatever this is. And I'm able to say, and this is for me, and I've got everything in me that I need to walk with it. So I'm on my soapbox today. I don't know why I'm starting off today, but I'll wrap it up because I've gone on for ages now. Sending you loads of love. If you want to reach out to set something up with me, to work with me, please do that on the other side of my Butlins holiday, of course. But, you know, like I said, I'm flexible, so evenings, weekends, all that stuff, as well as daytime stuff when Eliza's at her classes, as long as you don't mind me being in my car or wherever there's, you know, a cute little space for us. Okay, lots and lots of love. Mwah, mwah. Take care. See you soon. Bye.